So my name is Kimhak M. I represent Paircupworks. I am the owner, roaster, barista, do it all personnel there. So we're located in Mesa, Arizona.
Hmm.
We recently just opened two more shops. One is a standalone cafe, and the other one is a cart share space inside a bouldering gym. So now we have two shared space and one just standalone shop. They're in Gilbert, Mesa, and Tempe now.
And all of this happened since the last time I spoke with you, like after Portland.
It all happened about 4 months ago.
Oh, wow, that's pretty
Uh,
quick. Yeah, congratulations. Can you share like how long you've been roasting and also what was the first, I guess, thing you've ever roasted on? So frying pan, popcorn, popper, anything like that.
yeah, so I've been roasting for a little over 4 years now. I think the first thing I've ever roasted was a frying pan with washed Ethiopian. It turned out very terribly, but still consumable because I drank it all still. First roaster that I've learned to roast on was the Huki 500T.
I'm kind of reflecting back on our conversation from last year. What do you currently roast on?
I'm still roasting on a 2 kilo BC roaster.
Mm. Yeah, the easy roaster, that's right. Going into qualifiers, it was very, I guess, similar to what you experienced in nationals where you're roasting on site. Could you kind of describe your experience in Houston this year, having a year of experience using the stronghold and how that came to be and, I guess just your experience overall in Houston?
Houston was a good experience overall. A lot less nervous. I think being able to roast on the stronghold at least once before this one made me feel a lot more confidence in that I can produce what I want to achieve. I think with National in Portland, not knowing the format and not knowing the roaster really well, you always have like a bit of hesitation and kind of worries. I think with this one in Houston, because I was able to roast in Portland before, I kind of going in knowing the format of, okay, this is the amount of time we get on the machine. This is the procedure and format that we're going to go for, which I think is fantastic, especially this year having qualifier being much closer to national. As you know, last year qualifier was, and all the other previous year was, you get your green, you roast at home, you bring it in, you talk about it, which is also a good format, but it doesn't prepare you for national. Yeah, with this
Yeah.
one, I feel much more prepared.
Speaking of the green coffee, how was your experience, with the competition coffee at qualifiers?
I thought it was a great coffee for everyone because it was washed Guatemala coffee that I believe all of us are very familiar with. So, in my opinion, it gave a very fair and even playing ground for everyone. As a roaster, no matter how new or how old you are, you've most likely roasted a few Guatemala before. So, didn't surprise anybody with like flavor and quality of coffee. So I felt like that was fantastic too because everybody had a good fighting chance to do their best.
I think something new to the competition for qualifiers was also the way you do your roast profile and what you're telling the judges what to expect, the assessment
Mm-hmm.
portion. How was that for you at qualifiers?
It was good. I think I kind of overdid it because I did it how we did it in national, where we gave like all of the detail instead of just some of the detail. Qualifiers still simplified a little bit more than national, but it's pretty close. I just took it kind of the same way and same type of mindset as Portland last year.
Talking about roasting for, back at your shop versus roasting, for competition where coffees are going to be cupped very quickly. Can you like talk about your mindset or, what your strategy is going into that when you compete?
Yeah, so I think the ones that do well in these competition is the ones that have the mindset of, hey, we're not just roasting, we're also cupping fresh coffee. And if you roast too similar to what you do at home, you may not get the same result here because when we do it at home, we get to rest it for a few days. This we get to rest it for maybe 12 hours or so. So you kind of have to take that to consideration on how you're trying to roast, especially with fresh coffee being a little bit nuttier, a little bit chocolatier. It doesn't have time for the gas to rest, so the acidity might be a little bit harsher, a little bit more tanned feeling, a little drier. So when I go into it with my tasting note, I consider all of that part of my tasting note too. Instead of expecting what it would taste like while it's rested, I am writing down tasting note of what I expect tasting it fresh.
This is your second year making it
Mhm.
to US Coffee Roasting Championships. Did you ever have time to reflect on like how have you grown as a coffee professional since you last competed?
I think from the last time I competed, we were pretty busy with just trying to grow our shop, our brand. Having a young child also trying to work full time is also a real handful. So, truthfully, I was very unprepared this year for national. I also did cup taster alongside a lot of the other roasters. I forgot my cupping spoon. I forgot a lot of stuff while traveling. I did most of my mental preparation when I was in my Airbnb instead of like trying to take my time at home. But that's part of the game. Sometimes you have time to prep for stuff. Sometimes life gets in the way a little bit and you take what you take or take what is given.
Congratulations, by the way. You have a new child or first one?
Not new, but he's
Oh,
like two now, so he's a handful.
oh yeah, yeah. No, I know that age.
Uh,
Yeah,
it was a
definitely.
little bit easier when last year when he was just around one.
Yeah, yeah. Now they're mobile and yeah, they're starting to kind of show their personality and things like that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fantastic, but
yeah.
it is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's awesome. Again, Kimhak, seeing you make it to U.S. Coffee Roasting Championship. Sounds like there's a lot going on. The business is growing and things like that, and
Mhm.
family. Why do you choose to compete?
There's multiple reasons. The business side is competing is wonderful for business side. It shows that our company is actively trying to be better. Branding and things like that, marketing, networking is competition's always great for that. Personally wise, I love it because to me it's very fun. I love seeing my friends. Coffee business, you see only your immediate community, but once you get into qualifier, especially national, you'll see everybody around the nation all in one group, all with the same mindset. Everybody's trying to do their best. Everybody's trying to grow the community the same way. And it's just wonderful to see people putting their hearts and soul into a product. So when you're just at your own cafe or state or whatnot, there's people doing great stuff, but you don't see that absolute passion in that quantity. You might see one or two other company that's trying their heart out, but this one, everywhere you kind of like turn to, everybody's putting their heart and soul into what they're doing. And it's just a big motivator for me to keep trying to do better and better.
I love that. And, coming out of Arizona, growing your brand, have folks reached out to you, whether to just learn what this whole coffee competition thing's about, or, apprentices want to learn how to roast? Do they come and, pick your brain, things like that?
I have a couple workers that kind of want to get into roasting, so I let them have seat time on the roaster and things like that. I get a lot of small micro roasters that started off how I started with 500-gram roasters or 1 kilo roasters, or sometimes even bigger roaster than what I have coming in and just trying to figure out what they can do to be better. And on my side, I don't want to push them to roast or to feel the same way I do, because every roaster should have their own want, needs, and what they think is good. I'm just trying to encourage them to do what they want and whatever they kind of want to do the best that they can.
That's terrific. And, within Paircupworks, you mentioned cup tasters. Any other members of your team competing in coffee competitions for
This
this season?
year, no, it's just me this year. Last year we had a Brewers Cup. I did just come back from LA to do the April's Brewers Cup that they had in Kumquat. So I took two of my other team member to go there to kind of get their feet wet in competition to see if they want to do it. I know with qualifier and national, it is a little bit intimidating, especially for first time competitors. So I will try to go out of our way to at least see the interests of our team members if they want to do it or not. It is a lot of time, a lot of dedication. So a lot of people just don't have that time. They might have the dedication, but time is mostly the hardest part of everything.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a huge investment in time, but also, yeah, just
Mhm.
that will to, want to, take time to practice and, learn
Mhm.
your craft. Now that qualifiers is done, you made it to the US Coffee Roasting Championship two
Mhm.
years in a row. What are you looking most forward to heading into Chicago?
The food. Always the food. But I want to do better than what I did last year. I want to figure out what I could improve on from last year. Of course, always trying to aim for first, but if I do better than the year before, that is still a big achievement. I feel like I have a better understanding of the competition the second time around. So I'm hoping to, my personal goal is to win, but I will be extremely happy to be within the top five.
I like that you have goals you're trying to, place for this
Mhm.
upcoming season. How about coaching? Has any roasters or do you have any roasters that are reaching out to see if you'd want to coach them? Or I guess even providing like your expertise. What I like about the roasting competition is that it's not just roasting coffee, it's developing a plan. Green grading is one thing. Anything like that?
I've had a few that asked but didn't follow through. It's a little late now for this year, but I always have an open schedule for anybody that wants to pick my brain about what's going on and how to get into it. I want to see, especially Arizona, to grow and want to compete also because Arizona have a lot of great shops, a lot of great roasters, but again, a lot of them feel intimidated to start competing. The only other Arizona company that competes pretty regularly, except for this year, it would be Pressa from Tucson. But I want to try to get more companies out there, and I am more than willing to help coach or mentor or just talk about it to anyone.
That's awesome. And yeah, Kimhak, you represent the state of Arizona, very well, at these competitions. So yeah, thank you so much. What is your most memorable coffee experience thus far in your career?
I think my most memorable is when I wasn't in coffee yet. It was a local coffee shop in the Bay Area when I was still living there. It was a natural Ethiopian that I had as a pour over for the first time. They actually had the US coffee champ playing in the background. And I was just like, what is that? And I was just like, it just seems really weird to me that they were playing something about coffee on the side. I drank the coffee and it was natural Ethiopian Adado, and it just blew my mind on how coffee can taste like. I know that's a very generic answer of giving a natural Ethiopian as the coffee that kind of changed my mind, but that was the coffee that changed my mind. And just like the scenery of just like, wow, people actually take this seriously.
No, that's a great answer. I do hear that origin a lot, but I think that a lot of us can relate to that too. So one of my first coffees was a natural Ethiopian too, and I was like, man,
Mhm.
what am I drinking right now?
Yeah,
It's pretty
especially
amazing.
like back in like 2004, 2003, where there wasn't a ton of crazy anaerobics or anything like that. Natural Ethiopian just felt like they flavored the coffee, but at the same time, it was so unique for just a pure, just black coffee.
Yeah, here in Hawaii, we do a lot of artificial flavored, stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, when I first tasted this, I was like, man, what is this? This is nothing like I've ever, experienced before. And yeah, that kind of just started me on my, I guess coffee journey as well. So I could definitely relate to you, Kimon. Yeah, thank you so much, for your time. Congratulations again, making it through qualifiers, and it'll be good running into you and hopefully share some time to talk story a little bit when you're not competing in Chicago.
Yeah, glad that you guys are sponsoring and stuff again. You guys
Yeah.
always make all of us feel really welcome. So
All good. Terrific. Thank you so much.